Shalom, Chevra. I hope everyone's doing well. We're coming to the end of another week. And so, with that, let's talk a little bit more derech eretz and speaking, right? I'm hoping to wind down the topic of speech within the derech eretz series here within the next couple weeks. It's not going to be in this week. Um, because, as we've said before, there's a lot to speak about when you're speaking about speaking. And so, with that, we're going to try and focus on positive speech, how to speak positively, and not just positive speech, but appropriate speech at the same time. So, the Lubavitcher Rebbe was actually very well known for teaching whenever you have an option of using a positive wording or a negative wording, then the goal is use the positive. And there's we could say from a psychological perspective that people say, oh, well, if you're using the positive, you're reinforcing the positive, which is a very true statement. And by reinforcing the positive, we're having actuation of the positive, and we're creating our own existence. There's Inyani Chassidus around this. There's Inyani Kabbalah around this. Believe me, it's there. And anyone, I highly encourage you to look into it more. The specific example that I'm going to bring forward, though, is a little bit more just straightforward. Rashi talks about it. Maharsha talks about it. In Parshas Noach, when Hashem is explaining to Noach what animals to bring onto the ark, onto the Teva, he says, for the animals which are tahor, bring them on in 7 pairs, and the animals which are she'eno tahor, right, which are not tahor, which are not pure, to bring them on in pairs of 2, right? Literally just pairs. And so the idea that Rashi brings out, the Maharsha goes into this, is that rather than using a negative wording when speaking about non-kosher animals, which, by the way, could have been used the word tame, impure, Hashem said no, something which is not pure. So he's putting it in a different perspective. He's showing kavod to his fellow, to just the animals, to his own creations. And while we have, obviously, there's a kavod habriut, right? We have to show respect to creations. When we're speaking with one another, we can also use these same ideas. When someone is, and within the business world, a manager is going to be critiquing somebody else's work, or a colleague may be critiquing somebody else's work, they have the option of saying, no, oh, you did this wrong. Now, let me teach you a little bit on how we could have done this a little bit better, or how we could improve upon the experience in the future. Try to do this instead next time around. There's a positive wording, there's a positive idea, and it brings about just emotionally positivity. It brings about a better connection from one person to another. It can actually show a level of respect rather than berating a person. We're acknowledging how to grow, how to improve. Um, Another idea that I want to bring forward, different idea, different concept, but similar concept still, is from a pasuk in Yov discussing about how people are able to, be crafty with their words, right? So at the same time, right, the connotation of this one being that using euphemisms instead of being inappropriate in speech, and both of these topics are things we could go very much at length at. I want to tie the two of them in together because quite often negative speech, negative wording can also tie in with an inappropriate wording. And sometimes just a reality in life, we have to speak about things that aren't in the greater status quo considered appropriate, but it's part of reality, right? Part of our day-to-day lives. I'm not going to go into any examples. We all have imaginations, we all have backgrounds, and everyone's able to understand the general idea here. So once again, while using positivity, positive wordings, one's also able to use euphemisms. And with this, we're able to kind of remove inappropriate speech from our lives and the way that we speak one to another. And we're able to use positive ideas and positive reinforcements within these same ideas. All of this is coming from Torah. All this is coming from Ashkaf, but we all have grounds for this. And just a few ideas to be able to bring us forward into the new week. I wish everyone to have an amazing Shabbos. Please be safe. We're in a trying time right now, and the best attitude is we can be safe and we can make it through. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Be well.